Hello, students. Good morning, all of you. Today, I Rabindra Mohan Misra from Sri Jagdamba Sanskrit College, Bathu, am taking the class of Shastri first. In this day, we are doing revisions for our coming examination. Today, we see William Butler Yeats, a great Irish poet. William Butler Yeats is widely considered to be one of the greatest poets of the 20th century. He belonged to the Protestant Anglo-Irish minority that had controlled the economic, political, social, and cultural life of Ireland. Yeats affirmed his Irish nationality. Yeats maintained his cultural roots, featuring Irish legends and heroes in many of his poems and plays. He was equally firm in adhering to his self image as an artist. In 1885, an important year in his early adult life, his poetry was published for the first time in the Dublin University Review, and he began his important interest in occultism. But in 1890, he returned from its sweeping mystical insight and joined the Golden Dawn, a secret society that practiced ritual magic. Most of his poetry, however, used symbols from ordinary life and from familiar traditions, and much of his poetry continued to reflect his interest in Irish subjects. During his decade, he also became increasingly interested in poetic techniques. The rhymers placed a very high value on subjectivity and craftsmanship and preferred sophisticated aestheticism to nationalism. He was now the 60-year-old smiling public man of his poem among school children, which he wrote after touring an Irish elementary school. He was also a world renowned artist of impressive stature, having received the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1923. Yeats' poems are at once local and general, Irish and universal, personal and public. Another important element of poems is Yeats' keen awareness of old age. Even his romantic poems from the late 1890s often mention grey hair and weariness, though those poems were written while he was still a young man. Despite the author's often keen awareness of his physical decline. The last 15 years of his life were marked by extraordinary vitality and an appetite for life. In 1929, he also wrote a series of brass, vigorous poems narrated by a fictitious old peasant woman, Crazy Jane. As years aged, he saw Ireland change in ways that angered him, but years offset his frequently brazen manner with his personal conflicts expressed in his last poems. He faced death with a courage that was founded partly on his vague hope for reincarnation and partly on his admiration for the bold heroism that he perceived in Ireland in both ancient times and the 18th century. In proud moods, he could speak in the stern voice of his famous epitaph. Throughout his last years creative imagination remained very much his own, isolated to a remarkable degree from the successive fashions of modern poetry, despite his extensive contacts with other poets. He simply was concerned that during the last 2 decades of his life, his preference for using rhythm and strike stanza forms would set him apart from the vogue of modern poetry. Yeats wanted poetry to engage the full complexity of life, but only insofar as the individual poet's imagination had direct access to experience or thought, and only insofar as those materials were transformed by the energy of artistic articulation. He was, from first to last, a poet who tried to transform the local concerns of his own life by embodying them in the resonantly universal language of his poems. His brilliant rhetorical accomplishments, strengthened by his considerable powers of rhythm and poetic phrase, have earned wide praise from readers. Yeats believed that art and politics were intrinsically linked and used for his writing to express his attitude towards Irish politics as well as to educate his readers about Irish cultural history. From an early age, Yeats felt a deep connection to Ireland and his national identity. His early compilation of folklore sought to teach a literary history, and his early poems were odes to the beauty and mystery of the Irish countryside. This work frequently integrated references to myths and mythical figures. Yeats became more involved in Irish politics. His poems increasingly resembled political manifestos. Yeats wrote numerous poems about Ireland's involvement in World War I. Yeats believed that art could serve a political functions. Poems could both critique and comment on political events as well as educate and inform a population. Yeats started his literary career as a romantic poet and gradually evolved into a modernist poet. When he began publishing poetry in the 1880s, his poems had a lyrical, romantic style and they focused on love, longing, and loss and Irish myths. His early writing follows the conventions of romantic verse, utilizing familiar rhyme scheme, metric patterns, and poetic structures. Although it is lighter than his later writings, his early poetry is still sophisticated and accomplished. Several factors contributed to his poetic evolution. His interest in mysticism and the occult led him to explore spiritually and philosophically complex subjects. Yeats' frustrated romantic relationship with Morgan caused the astray-eyed romantic idealism of his early work to become more knowing and cynical. As a result, Yeats shifted his focus from myth and folklore to contemporary politics, often linking the two to make potent statements that reflected political agitation and turbulence in Ireland and abroad. Finally, the most significantly, its connection with the changing face of literary culture in the 20th century led him to pick up some of the styles and conventions of modernist poets. In short, we conclude that the modernists experimented with verse forms, aggressively engaged with contemporary politics, challenged poetic conventions and the literary tradition at large, and rejected the notion that poetry should simply be lyrical and beautiful. These influences caused his poetry to become darker, edgier, and more concise. Although he never abandoned the verse forms that provided the sounds and rhythms of his early poetry, there is still a noticeable shift in a style and tone over the course of his career. Thanks. Good night. Have a nice day. Please.